pressure by Kenyans and withdrawn the finance bill 2024. This means that we don't have that bill anymore, and we will not even talk about it because it has withdrawn it in totality. In a simple terms, President here may reject finance bill 2024. But again, this has really exposed some of the things within the government that is so embarrassing to Kenyans and even to the international community. I don't think it was right for the president to allow all these things to reach that level of people destroying property, losing life, for the president to realize that the finance bill was not good for the people of Kenya. Actually, he could have first worked with the finance bill 2023 before reintroducing another finance bill 2024. But as we do all this, I want to echo and acknowledge what the deputy president says during his press briefing today evening. The deputy president said that the president acted as a result of misinformation given to him by the National Intelligence Service. And actually, the deputy president has called for the resignation of the director of National Intelligence Service, Ruto. This has really exposed the kind of incompetence of some of the public servants serving under President William Ruto. We all remember that later, or rather earlier, when the president did acknowledge that there are even some ministers within his government that does not actually understand their duties. In fact, in his own word, he said, I know more in your ministry than you who should know more than I do. So, what is there for President William Ruto? Mr. President, the little confidence the people of Kenya still have on you, you've been given a very narrow opinion, what we can call a very short extension for you to redeem yourself with the little confidence some people still have in your government. What are you going to do, Mr. President? It is time for you to put your government in order. Don't be afraid to fire those who are not doing what you should do. Okay? Remember, you are elected by the people of Kenya. Don't please some of your few friends to make them happy at the expense of Kenyans. Again, during the address by the deputy president did try in a way to support, or rather to plead to Kenyans not to condemn those MPs who voted yes. In his own words, he says these MPs were just working under the directive of the government which they serve, or rather under the directive of the political party which sponsored them to parliament. Again, this has really exposed the kind of government we have, the kind of parliament and the kind of people we elected. Some will ask that these MPs, are they serving the interest of Kenyans, or are they serving the interest of their party leader, or are they serving the interest of their political parties? Okay? Why should an MP vote for something that he knows is not good for the people who elected? We've witnessed those MPs has also had got equal share of their own violence during this finance bill demonstration. Some of the offices have been burnt down, some of their properties destroyed as a result of the hunger of Kenya. Okay? So this has really given Kenyans have really lost hope and confidence in our parliament. Because if our MPs can be so twisted, if our MPs cannot work independently as the members of the parliament, then this one bring more questions than answers. Okay? Those who we elect to represent us as the National Assembly should be men and women of integrity, not people who will work under directive of the president, of the political party, or under the directive of whichever the person they serve. These people should work under the directive and the interest of the people who elected them. Because it is the people who gave you the mandate to represent them, not the president, not your party. But again, the most good thing about all this demonstration and everything is that for the very first time in the history of Kenya, Kenyans were really united for a common cause. Kenyans were not united by their ethnic group, by their political parties, or whichever way, Kenyans for the very first time were united by the problem they are facing and the urge to find solutions to the problem. Which indeed Kenyans did succeed. This is a win for Kenyans, not a win for Gen Z, not a win for whichever it is. This is a win for Kenyans because Kenyans have sent a very strong warning to the government of Kenya and even to whoever will be elected in whichever position that we give you the power, but you don't have control over us. If you do something that is not good for us, we can actually react. We can actually speak. So for the for one more time, Echo Kenyan, I'm proud of that. The Kenyan. I feel like this is the Kenya we want. This is what we as Kenyans are supposed to do. We are not weaklings, we are not cowards, but we are Kenya. We love our country. And we cannot allow some individuals to take our country hostage, to punish us in our own country. We cannot allow us to be colonized by our own Kenyans and to be punished by our own Kenyans and they expect us to keep quiet. So, Mr. President, with the little confidence we still have on you, please redeem yourself and that of your government. Do what you think is good for Kenya and not good for your political party. Do what you think is good for those who elected you into